Welcome to the Biz Gone Social podcast. We help entrepreneurs navigate how to get known, get customers, and get the edge over their competition. Here is your host, Lorraine Duncan.
So here we are on the Biz Gone Social podcast, and I'm so glad to be here. And my promise to you, as always, is I want to give you a little bit of verbal caffeine that's going to energize your business and social media marketing and help you stay social. Because after all, don't you want to be the business that everyone's talking about? I know I do. And I am so excited today to have a very special guest with me, Jeff Gerbert. And welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
And so tell everybody a little bit about your business and what you do.
Our business, we're Gerbert & Sons Landscape and Irrigation. We have been in business over 80 years. My parents started the company after my dad left the war. My dad was in World War II, and then he started the company part-time, and we've been running the business now since my father has been gone, about 38 years.
Wow, that's like incredible. I love hearing stories about generations of family, father to son. And I recently talked to somebody that was like a great grandfather to a grandfather. It's amazing how that works. I always ask this because I think it's important to know, and for my audience to know this, is what separates you from other landscapers and in that space. What separates you from them? What makes you different from them?
I would say the quality and the generation of time that we've been in business.
Wow. And when it comes to landscaping, and when you first meet a customer, what is the thing? I mean, some people, they work out great, but what is the one thing that you are actually looking for in a customer?
What we look for in a customer is a customer that feels the way we feel about their landscape. We enjoy the instant gratification of when you leave the property, of how beautiful it looks when you leave. And if the customer understands, quality, then we work out very well together. Our quality is the same, and our end goal is the same, is for them to be happy and us to be proud when we're leaving the property.
I love that. And Stu Leonard, if you ever went to Stu Leonard's, they always have a rule that the customer is always right and all that. And I love that your business is based on customer service, and that it's important for you to do a good job and satisfy your customers. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about marketing. And so I'm assuming, how do you get your company out there? How do people find out about you?
Well, we have people that do our website design, and we also have the same group that does newsletters on a monthly basis to clients, to old clients, and word of mouth. And we also are in, I guess, what do they call it? The mom's neighborhoods, or mom's networking in certain towns. So they network us in other places that way. So the moms talk about landscapers, painters, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're on those lists also.
That's awesome. It's funny, I get your newsletter, so I always get excited. I love seeing when you and I are in a networking group together, and I always get excited when I get newsletters or something from the people that I network with, because it means that they're doing something other than networking. And I think it's really important. I think there's nothing that will take the place of the in-person networking, but I really feel that doing a newsletter or doing other ways of marketing, advertising, and stuff like that is really important. Does your company that does your website design and stuff, do they do any social media marketing for you?
Good question. I want to say I don't know, but I don't know at this point. Yes, I'm not exactly sure.
They may not. You should find that out when you talk to them.
I will.
So a lot of people that come to these calls are either in business for themselves, or they're thinking about going to business for themselves. what would you say is the biggest challenge about being in business for yourself?
The biggest challenge of being in business with yourself is knowing that you are the business, and knowing that the business is really not much without you and your loyal and really good employees, including the clients. So having a good mix of clients, employees, and yourself, if everybody's on the same page and we're all looking for the same satisfaction at the end of the day, that's what needs to be done. The hard part is keeping it all together on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. What do you love most about being in business for yourself?
I enjoy the somewhat of a little bit of freedom. You know, you do get to have some freedom, you know, knowing it's your own. And you do have the satisfaction of, again, once I'm on the properties and seeing the work when we're done, to see how the end result comes out on our any of our projects. You know, just even if we're just edging the beds or planting a couple flowers, you walk away and it's just, you know, it's where in life are you getting instant gratification at the end of your job, not money.
Yeah. I love how most of the people I do talk to that own their own businesses, that's the one thing that always comes up. Well, two things that always comes up. One is that they love the freedom of being able to, you know, work when they have to, work when they need to. And then the other one is being satisfied with what they do in their business, how they serve others. And I think those are like across the board, it would probably be pretty much what every business owner would say.
Cool.
One last question I have for you is, if you were going to give someone advice, if they were just starting out, what one piece of advice would you give them?
Good question. Love what you do. Enjoy what you do. That's the best thing I could say.
That's awesome. I want to thank you very much for coming on my podcast. One thing I would love, if somebody, as you know, Jeff does landscaping. If somebody else out there wants to get a hold of you, how would they get a hold of you?
Internet, you know, we're on the internet, so we're on, you know, we have our website, and then they could always reach the office and call me directly. Very easily reached.
Awesome. And I'll put that link below in the podcast. And again, thank you very much for being on my podcast.
Well, thank you for having me. This was great time. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the Biz Gone Social podcast. Find us on Instagram at BizGoneSocial for extra tips. Check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, stay social.